Is LooksRare the OpenSea killer we've all, or at least most of us, been waiting for? We have some very pressing things to discuss, including a very tight window for an airdrop. We're going to go through the pros and cons of this new NFT platform, essentially this vampire attack on OpenSea. And we're also going to go through how I intend to play this out, my personal investment strategy. Speaking of I and who I am, this is my first video for the Collective Shift community. I am Arman Assadi. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Collective Shift, and I am by no means, full disclosure, a crypto analyst. I am not one of the researchers. However, I wanted to begin to create content as well to engage with you and really to serve as another person on this team who is sharing their investment strategies, sharing their insights, what I'm learning, and just bringing you along for the journey. The more the better, right? And ultimately what I'm going to be doing is talking about the areas that I'm most interested in, along with sharing how I'm going to play all the various things that come up that are most interesting to me. In particular, my personal sort of interests revolve around the philosophy and the future of this industry as a whole in relation to not just the tech, but also blockchain as a whole. I've become extremely passionate about NFTs in general in this space. And also just think of me as your American ambassador, your representative of all things America. I intend to speak about a lot of the macro things that are going on here in the US politically and policy-wise in regards to everything that is related to us making more money in the crypto space. So let's dive in. And last but not least, if you are not already a Collective Shift member, head to the link below, collectiveshift.io, check out our membership and use code ARMAN for a special discount if you're not already a member. And last but not least, make sure you hang on till the end of this video for a very special announcement after we get through all of the LooksRare analysis. All right, let's do it. So what happened? Let me share my screen here with you folks. First of all, welcome to looksrare.org. LooksRare, just 2 days ago, or was it even yesterday? I'm recording this currently on January 11th, US time, Pacific time zone, 2022. LooksRare airdropped all 12% of their total tokens to OpenSea users, which is pretty much all of you. OpenSea users who've spent 3 ETH or more in the last 6 months. And according to the way they calculate this, it basically works out to, I would say, at least double what OpenDAO, which was another project that recently sparked a lot of excitement. I would say it's about double what the SOS token offered. So this is very exciting for multiple reasons. Number one, this is a DAO that was meant to represent OpenSea users, so similar to what LooksRare is doing, but this is more of a direct vampire attack because OpenDAO does not even have a working product. And here we've got a platform that is fully functional and in use. In order to claim your airdrop, you essentially need to connect your wallet and you need to list an NFT. And after you list your NFT, which you pay a little bit of gas to do, obviously, you will receive your tokens. And then if you want to do what I did, which we'll go into all of this, you actually can stake your tokens. At the time, just even yesterday, this was at a 1,000% APR. It's currently down to a staggering 637%. And then down here, we'll go through this in more detail, but there's a lot of interesting opportunities here with this platform. So let's talk about what this ultimately is. My play, we'll dig right into that along with the pros and cons. Now, one very important thing to add here about this airdrop is that there is only a 10-day window for this entire airdrop. That means that today is already day 2, the day that I'm recording this. Hopefully this gets over to you pretty quickly here, but you might have less than a week by the time you see this video. Now, I would be very surprised if you have not already claimed your airdrop, but it's very important to make that abundantly clear because you don't want to miss this. Okay, so look, here's my take. I am personally going to stake half the tokens I've received. I'm going to earn my 800, 600, 700% APR-ish. And I'm going to swap the other half of my tokens for either ETH or WOL, which is the currency of the game, Wolf game, by the end of this airdrop window. Now, I can walk you through why, but ultimately it's because my game is an accumulation game of Bitcoin, Ethereum by far. I have a basket of other tokens outside of that I think is important to hold for my own sanity because of the 100 or 1000x opportunities that exist in this space, but more so because it's just fun. And if I see that one of these alt L1s like Solana is going to eventually usurp Ethereum, all of these things are possible. I believe in a multi-chain future, but right now in this moment, I want to own Bitcoin, Ethereum as much as possible. So currently for me, that makes up at least 85% of my portfolio, but that doesn't mean that I don't have room for a lot of these exciting NFT projects, DeFi projects, and tokens like this. So I intend to hold at least some of this and play it out. Now that's how I'll play this today. This could completely change. We're going to go through a lot of factors that are at play here that could change that approach. But that's my play for now, and I wanted to be upfront about that to give you the meat in this video right up front. I'm going to swap, I already did, I should say, stake. And I'm going to swap half, ideally when this thing hits about $5 per token, or at the end of this airdrop window where I expect a lot of the demand to really increase. Now, as of today, I'm not buying more Looks tokens, but I am watching. And ultimately, my real play here is going to be to use the platform to sell in particular and to buy and to stake those rewards, because I think that's going to be very juicy and there's a big opportunity for that here. So what is this? This is ultimately a decentralized OpenSea. We don't know who's behind it because the team is not doxed, meaning that they are anonymous, which actually concerns me, and we'll get into the pros and cons. But we've never seen a decentralized NFT platform succeed yet. And so this is going to be very telling for the space in general. Ultimately, this is a vampire attack. This is something similar to what, let's just say, Sushi Swap did to Uniswap last year. And how this plays out is going to be very interesting. But where I would recommend getting started is obviously going to looksrare.org. I really like to look at the source material when I get started with anything. So down here, the About page, I would just head straight to that About page. And I think, this is where I individually got started. As I went through all the guides, some great reading material here. I'm going to summarize it for you in this video. But I thought that this was pretty well done. Not completely exhaustive, but it gives you enough to really get started and understand what this platform is ultimately all about. So let me give you some of the highlights that I pulled out that I think are very important for you to know. So first of all, one of the most intriguing things about this platform is that all fees go to users. I believe to users that are staking their Looks tokens. So on OpenSea, every time you pay that 2.5% and so on for all of these various marketplace moves that you make, whether you're buying or you're selling, all these fees in general go to the users. And so ultimately, I think that this is a very user-focused platform, and I love that about the platform. Now, Looks tokens, obviously this is already something, if we just look at the prices as of this moment, this is something that you can actually purchase directly on Uniswap right now. You'll notice that they have on their homepage, you can, let's just go here to rewards. There it is. You can add this to your wallet and you can buy Looks. It opens up Uniswap. So you can exchange, of course, pretty much any cryptocurrency, whether that be if you want to onboard with fiat and convert that to USDC, USDT, or your stable coin of choice, or of course, swap Ethereum for Looks. You could be a complete degenerate. I should pull this up for you. There's actually someone on crypto Twitter today who sold their CryptoPunk and invested it all entirely in Looks tokens. So if you want to be an absolute degen, you could do something like that. I'm not advising that you do by any stretch of the imagination, but people are very, very excited about this, and it has obviously taken the crypto universe by storm. So you can purchase Looks. The Looks token currently is how we receive our rewards. It's the token, but it's also how we will have governance in the future DAO of the platform, just so you know as well. So staking, as I mentioned, is a great feature. Right now, as of the time of this recording, it's 636%. I think that's a really, really awesome feature. It has a real working product, unlike OpenDAO, the SOS token that made a big splash toward the end of 2021. And let me just go through some of these other features that I find really, really interesting. So first of all, right now, you're not going to get the quantity that you have on OpenSea. But I think that if we show liquidity on this platform, users follow liquidity in general. And if people are able to get what they want quickly and sell what they want in a sort of more direct manner, on top of the fact that they'll pay lower gas and that they get their fees and they get these rewards, I think there's a lot of reasons that people are going to really invest in this platform, not to mention the fact that there are some really, really cool features. One of those features is the ability to make a collection offer, which pretty much makes it so that if you are going to be purchasing a floor NFT, you really have no reason to do that on OpenSea, because there's just too many benefits. I mean, the fact that I can, and what I mean by collection offer, again, you can go through the about page material, but I can literally make one offer using wrapped Ethereum, which is essentially a way, to get more utility, let's just say, out of the Ethereum token, right? Utilizing a lot of the aspects of things that are lacking from a smart contract perspective. This allows us to, bid on auctions and things like that, as you would on OpenSea. I'm sure many of you have experience with that. But here, that allows me to make a collection offer. When I make that collection offer, I can literally say that I want to pay 1 ETH for a Meebit, and it will apply that to the entire collection. And if somebody wants that offer, they can accept it. And so with one click and one offer, I can, rather than needing to offer individually for each one of these NFTs, I can make an offer on the entire collection. So anybody with that NFT can accept the offer. The way I think this is similar to is like thinking of it like a limit order for when you're buying crypto or stocks in general. So again, I think this is an amazing way to buy a floor NFT, by far the best way to do it. Another very, very cool feature when you start to play around is the ability to make an offer directly on a trait. So, you could buy an NFT with a specific trait in a collection. So for example, you could go to Bored Apes and you could say, I want to buy a Bored Ape with gold fur specifically. Very, very cool feature. Overall, the platform is extremely, extremely early days. I think just yesterday it was at 100 million market cap. Let's see what it's at right now. Market cap, I mean, wow, we've already 3x'd essentially overnight since launch. Market cap right now for LooksRare is almost 300 million US dollars. And, an easy comp to make is that SOS token, OpenDAO, went to, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, $750 million market cap. So, that is already at least 2x from here, and that had no working project. So if one of the basic calculations that I did, and I'm in a few very interesting groups with some other investor friends, one very interesting calculation is that, look, if the Looks token can grab 20% of the market share in the NFT space, and you give it so what's a fair multiple to give a token like this, to give ultimately a DAO like this, an exchange platform for NFTs like this? Let's just say a 40x multiple. That means you're looking at a $5.4 billion valuation just on the basis of fees that the platform will accumulate, right? So these are just some easy comps to make that are pretty conservative. And I think that leaves a lot of room for potential here. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm all bullish on this platform. Let's go through some of the pros and the cons. But in general, I think it's important to start thinking about comparative platforms or things that we can value this against. Now, you can, of course, sell on both LooksRare and OpenSea, but you get free tokens for selling on LooksRare. So there's really nothing to lose with selling on the platform. There's also another very cool feature is that there's 0 fees for private sale. So if I know I want to sell my NFT to Jimmy, and we've already made a deal, in real life or on Discord or whatever it might be, the fact that I can make that private deal with him directly without paying fees is really, really awesome. So these are some of the pros, but let's go through some of the cons. The biggest issue by far I have with LooksRare as a platform is that the UI is shit for me. I can't get over the UI so far. I am sure, and by UI, I mean user interface. The user interface, the UX as well, the user experience, it doesn't feel intuitive. It doesn't feel like a, baller world-class product manager was involved. And no disrespect to the people involved at LooksRare, but to me, there is some work to do. It is still not intuitive. I think that it can create a lot of friction for users that are used to the sort of OpenSea platform. It probably would not have hurt to emulate OpenSea's UI as much as possible, since they basically own the entire market share. Unless that there was absolute certainty that the UI was going to be fantastic, I think that was a big risk. Another con or neutral thing in general is that it's brand new. There's no traffic on this page. There's no traffic on this site. One of my favorite tools in general is SimilarWeb. And while SimilarWeb doesn't always give the most accurate, sort of analysis, since it's not directly from the back end, it's not directly from the site's Google Analytics, it's not always accurate, but this is a sign of a brand new site. This site is not even properly displaying its data yet. It is brand new. I don't really know what the history is behind this site. I don't know how long it's been in production and how. I really don't know anything. I couldn't tell you anything about that, but it is brand new, and that is important for you to know. Another thing I already mentioned is the team is not doxed. It would be really cool if we knew, at the very least, some pseudonyms of who was behind this, or people that had a track record of other projects or something along those lines. Another friend told me, again, I'm just passing things along as well here. Another friend told me that the only thing they found is that they're basically pretty freshly made GitHub accounts. There's really no history that we can look at here. Another point is that we don't know if a decentralized NFT platform is going to work. Currently, our only sort of comp here is OpenSea. And then we also have the Coinbase NFT platform coming in the future, if you don't already know about that, which is another centralized company. So we don't know if an NFT platform that is decentralized is going to work. And we don't know if buyers are going to head over to LooksRare and stop using OpenSea. What is going to change that behavior? Well, to my earlier point, buyers follow liquidity. And so if sellers are sort of able to attract people over onto this platform, everybody feels that there's enough value for them, that the UI doesn't become a sticking point or an annoyance. All of these things all together, with time, we'll be able to see how this goes. But we actually were at approximately $3.70 this morning. Right now, it's like I said, it's about 4:50 in the afternoon on January 11th. So there's a bit of volatility. Maybe we can say that ultimately what's happened is a lot of that initial frenzy is out of the way, but we'll see how this plays out. Time will tell. And, just a few other things I think to consider is the fact that you could continue to use OpenSea as a filter for liquidity, and you could execute on LooksRare. So there's a lot of ways to play this. I think everybody's going to play this differently. And really, I think the big one that I'm probably going to personally be more bullish on is going to be I hate to say it, but the Coinbase marketplace. With the amount of capital and resources they have, and the number of people on that waiting list, I don't know exactly how many it is. The last I heard and read was 3 million. It's probably higher than that now, but that's 3 million people waiting for that platform to open up. Coinbase as a platform, they do a great job for a centralized, exchange, for a centralized company in general. I believe that the resources that they have, the people that they have, they'll be able to put together a UI that hopefully solves a lot of the problems that OpenSea has. I mean, OpenSea honestly is notorious for its issues. It's constantly down. Things aren't indexing in real time. People are constantly having issues with OpenSea. And while OpenSea might continue to evolve, ultimately all of this as a user is good news. I'm bullish on the space as in general. This competition is healthy because ultimately what this is going to do, having these exchanges for NFTs, whether they're centralized or decentralized, ultimately creates the competition that we need as users to have a better experience, to get sort of the edge that we're looking for with things like this that are focused on the user, where you earn rewards for using the platform. I love that about LooksRare. I love that about the decentralized aspect of it. I love that we'll be able to have a certain level of governance over the future of this platform by being a token holder and staking. These are all really nice things, but time will tell, and we'll see how this plays out. We'll end with that announcement that I promised you. If you enjoyed this and you'd like more content in general from me, obviously make sure you are subscribed to all of our channels at Collective Shift. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube. Make sure you are following us on all of our social media accounts. And if you want more of this, please comment, whether inside the platform as a member or outside the platform on one of our social media accounts on YouTube below. Let me know what you want more of. Let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know what you'd like me to adjust. And if you want to watch and listen to a conversation like this with 3 other people that are absolutely brilliant, some of my best friends and people that have been in the crypto space for quite a while, check out the Alfalfa podcast, powered by Collective Shift. So let me actually show you a little something. So you're going to want to head to alfalfapod.com. And if you check out our Twitter, I'll read you our little blurb here. So we are 4 radically moderate internet and finance entrepreneurs serving purple pills and investing alpha weekly. If you want more of this type of discussion, a roundtable discussion like this, as I said, with 3 absolutely brilliant guys, you are going to love this podcast. Again, this is powered by Collective Shift. So we're going through a lot of the same things, but in a more deep manner across a whole spectrum of things. And we call ourselves radically moderate, obviously, to be funny. It's a pretty degenerate podcast. So if this is your style, definitely check out alfalfapod.com. Links to everything here. We're live on all the podcast platforms, YouTube, so on and so forth. So appreciate you tuning in. That's it for this video. Thanks so much. Until next time. Peace.